We have the car with the longest name here, which is the 94 Mazda Mazdaspeed Autozam AZ1. This one is actually a really rare car. We found out as we were looking into it. They only made 140 of them. In this blue on blue, apparently, there's only 10-ish or less because the blue on blue wasn't a factory option. However, it was a factory option in the sense that you could ask for it and the factory would give you it. There's a few things that it needed. We're actually going to be getting this thing ready for sale. There was one that went on Bring a Trailer a few years ago. It was 2-3 years ago. That one had almost 140,000 kilometers on it, and I think it went for 45 grand. This one has just under 33,000 kilometers on it. So we're trying to make sure that everything is as nice as it could be for right now, because of course, you know, it hasn't moved in however long. The door handles on it, for whatever reason, didn't look great, so we wanted to change those. I'm going to show you guys real quick how to change them, and then we're going to do a general inspection and, you know, stuff that we need to order. But it's definitely not what you would think. Door handle. And of course, you can't have a cool 90s car without gull wing doors. So I'm going to go grab my screwdriver and my 8mm, because that's really all I need. All right, so the door handle, we're going to have to lock it. And right in here is a screw, okay? So we're going to pull this screw out. All right. And then to get this piece out, we open this and then it just comes out. Now, fun fact, if any of you people are paying attention or any of that stuff, this is the same door handle as in a NA chassis code Miata, or a 89 to 97 Miata. Same inner door handle, same little piece. So now that we have that piece out, we are literally done under here. I'm going to stand up now. And along here are a bunch of little 8mm. All right, so 10 8mm nuts. Put this over here, put this over here. And then the entire side of the door comes off. So now I already replaced these, but that's it. You can do the window regulator. You can get to all this stuff. You can do the latch, the key, well, key cylinder. This is wonderful, actually. If you've ever had the pleasure of like doing a window regulator on like a Dodge truck or a window regulator on a Volkswagen or something like that, yeah, be jealous, because I didn't know this existed. You can literally just see everything. So I'm gonna put this back together because, yeah, like I said, we already changed it out, and there is a difference between this one and the NA Miata. The difference is there's actually a little circle spot on this piece. This is the NA Miata one, or the original Miata one, okay? On this one, there's a hole drilled right there. Other than that, 100% the same. And that hole is for this one. This bottom piece is still the same on all of them and the other stuff like that, but you have to take that apart, which is a few screws, and then swap out that for this one if you are ever in the realm of working on a Mazda AZ1, which, you know, there's only 140 of the Mazdaspeeds made, so not very likely that it's going to be, you know, common around. And then of AZ1s in general, there was only 4,409. So 'tis a rare car. Okay, we're just looking around here to see anything out of the ordinary. It does look like this hose has a tear in it. So we'll get a new little rubber hose for this. This is something to do with map sensor or evap, something like that. There's a little tiny hose there with something coming out of it, so that will affect how it runs. We have, this hose has something taken off. This looks like an idle air control valve hose because of where it goes, or some kind of PCV actually, and it's pinched. So we might take that off and see if we can reroute it or whatever to get it unpinched. Let's see here. Little intercooler way back in there. It's itty bitty guy for the side air intake. There was a coolant drop on the ground, but I don't see anything right now. Also, with how this runs or how it sounds, we might be doing a valve cover, or I mean a valve adjustment on it, because it's a little clattery, but it's only like valve train noise. It's not anything underneath. I have done the fluids on this, transmission, brake fluid, engine oil, coolant, so on and so forth. With it sitting, I wouldn't be surprised if the valve adjustment is out. I don't see anything other than that little hose up here that's not great. I remember looking at this before, and I'm pretty sure the filter was okay. Not pretty, but not bad. Depending on how easy it is to get the filter for it, we might just do a new air filter, because why not? That way, whoever ends up buying this car in the future will actually just be able to drive it and enjoy it. I don't know. Well, that could be the valve cover leaking, actually. Or some of the seals around the valve cover. That's the AC compressor, which the AC does work in this, and it's actually phenomenal. That's one of the other things that I've already redone on it, was evac and recharge with new valves. This is engine oil on the compressor. That doesn't come out of the compressor. So we're gonna have to see what that is. With these mid-engine cars, it's really hard to see anything up there, but I don't see any coolant, so I don't know what that drip is. Oh, wait, nope. There it is. So this is right there, yeah. So that looks like a heater line, which is just a straight hose, which is amazing. I'm so glad they did that, because we'll actually be able to find a straight hose. If this was like, you know, my MR2 that I had years ago, I couldn't find the heater hose for it. So we had to just go down to O'Reilly and look through their stock and find one close enough that wouldn't kink. So I know when I was driving it, I heard something that sounded like it was coming from this side of the car. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's wheel bearing. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if you can hear that. Let me try and get this closer. Hold on. So don't listen to the high pitch thing, because the high pitch thing is the brake pads just scraping on the rotor, but the lower one. Yeah, that's definitely the wheel bearing. Now, I remember before when we first got the car and I hadn't driven it around, I shook it. And yeah, it's solid. And the inner tie rods don't have any movement. This one sounds fine. So here, we'll do the comparison, right? So just the brake scraping on it versus the other side. Yeah. I'm sure if you had YouTube turned up all the way, that didn't sound too great in your ear. But there is a substantial difference, and that actually sounds fine. So. Okay, let me just spin the rears, because we're here, and I didn't spin them before. I only shook them, which if they're really bad, okay, that one, I mean, granted the axle's in there, so there's slightly different of a noise, but I'm gonna check that one with a stethoscope. sounds okay. So I think we only have one bad wheel bearing. I mean, that one's actually completely silent. Yeah, this one's got a noise to it, so we might do this one too. We'll have to... Finding parts. Gonna be a thing. Oh yeah. That one sounds horrible. We will be doing a video on repairing this thing. Granted, I do have to find stuff, so it's gonna be a while with shipping. The only other thing that I know we have to do, and I have a makeshift, is this is the hood pop. You know, it's just a wire. Because when the car got here, the hood wouldn't close all the way. And this is the original hood pop, which I did find out isn't a part that is available for any other car. It's only available for this one. And it doesn't retract. I've put this in the vise and pulled on it, but it won't, because this is supposed, when you let go of it, it's supposed to go and just spring back when it's pulled, but it won't go back. So somewhere in this, it's pinched or corroded or something, but we need a new one of these. That's the only other thing that I know this thing needs. So as we go down, it's the valve cover and the timing adjust. We'll do that. The little tiny vacuum hose, the heater core hose. We might do both of them. Put some new clamps on there because those little spring clamps, they work if they're not messed with. And once they start leaking, don't trust them again. And then both wheel bearings on the passenger side of the car. So should be a good video in there. Like, subscribe. We should have a lot more of this JDM stuff coming in now that, one, we're selling these cars, and then two, we're actually working on them. Almost nobody that I know of in town actually will touch one of these cars. That's one of the things that I've heard from most of the people that have come here, is they'll show up to one of the local shops or even the small ones, and they just walk out and they see the steering wheel on the correct side and they go, yeah, we're not touching that, and just walk around. If you guys like the JDM stuff, keep subscribed, and then hopefully you'll learn something from this, or maybe you'll want to buy one of these. You should.